Back here for game number 2 between Carson-Newman and Tusculum right here on the Eagle Sports Network, as Danielle Jason will lead things off for the Tusculum Pioneers against Sierra Rogers, getting the start for the second consecutive game. Rogers back-to-back appearances where she's gone the long run as she goes 4 innings in game number 1. As she deals a first pitch to Jason, she bunts it, or pops it up behind the dish, and not playable for Kennedy Warder, and the count is 0-1. Carson-Newman handed Tusculum its second loss of 2025 in an 8-0 run rule victory. Carson-Newman has been extremely effective in those run rule games. Now the 9th run rule victory of the season for Carson-Newman. As a 0-1 pitch home to Jason is on the outside corner for a called strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes. Rogers to Jason to lead things off. Here in Tusculum's half the first inning, Danielle Jason was kept off the base pass in game number 1, and that's big for the Carson-Newman defense, with Jason being the top base stealer in the sack. The next pitch misses downstairs, and the count a ball and a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Jason, who leads things off for Tusculum. Brooke Smith is on deck. Ellie Alvarez in the hole. Same top 3 for the Pioneers. As a 1-2 is popped foul towards a car on the street. Actually got a piece of the wheel. As good news is it didn't put a dent in that car. Driving towards the Silver Diamond Baseball Complex to check out Carson-Newman and Tusculum getting rolling at 3 o'clock. Count remains a ball and 2 strikes to Jason as Rogers twirls and fires, leaves it downstairs. Ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, bases empty, nobody out for Rogers and the Eagle defense here in the top half of the first. Carson-Newman wins game 1 8-0. Looking for a similar result here in game number 2. As a 2-2 home to Jason, she fouls it off, stays alive, and the count remains 2-2. Jason fighting off a couple pitches to stay alive in this count, as she awaits the next 2-2 offering from Sierra Rogers. She spins it home. The 2-2 is low. Ball 3. Jason looking to manufacture herself a board for the first time today. And try and put her top-level base running to the test here in Jefferson City. The payoff pitch home is low and outside. Ball 4. Danielle Jason leads off game 2 with a walk, and she's aboard with nobody out. First pitch home to Smith is low and outside for ball 1. Now Jason's going to take off on a bunt down the third baseline, and it's foul. So the count 0-1 to Smith. Jason aboard. She's the speedy leadoff hitter for Tusculum. It's a count 0-2 to Smith. Jason on first with nobody out. Next pitch home is popped foul to the left side, out of play, and the count remains 0-2. Alvarez is on deck. Jimenez in the hole for Tusculum. Smith, a .490 hitter, one of those high-level base-running threats as well. She's second in the sack with 26 stolen bases. So Carson-Newman looking to keep any more speed off the base pass. Is a 0-2 slap left side. Gets through the legs of Abby Martin, but it looked like maybe base-running interference on Danielle Jason as time is called. Looks like Jason might be called out here with Smith standing on second and Jason for the time being standing on third. It looked like Martin was charging in as Smith was racing to second. Now Julie Hubner is going to come out and have a chat with the field umpire. It didn't look like Jason went out of her way to get in the path of that ball. As Hubner continues to have an animated chat with the field umpire here today, as there's no official signal yet as to what the call is, and it looks like Jason's going to be ruled out. So what would you rule that for Smith, Kev? Okay. So Rogers is going to spin home the first pitch to Alvarez, as that's the first out of the inning. As Alvarez fouled off the first pitch. Waits a 0-1 from Rogers. Pokes it foul. The count is 0-2. Smith is on first after she reached on base runner interference on Danielle Jason. As Rogers looks for her first punch out here in game 2. She rocks, fires a 0-2. It's popped high in the sky left side. It'll be Hayden Dye at short to come over and take care of it for out number 2. Smith stays put, and there's 2 away for Sammy Jimenez. Like Tusculum had a little bit of momentum to start off the inning. But the base runner interference and a shallow pop out to short keeps Brooke Smith put at first. First pitch home to Jimenez is high and inside, ball 1. One ball and no strikes to Jimenez. As Rogers toes the slab, rocks and fires at 1-0. It's high, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Sierra Rogers to Sammy Jimenez here in the top of the first inning. No score. As the cleanup hitting Jimenez stands in with 2 away. It's all Eagles in game 1. As Kennedy Warder walked it off with a solo home run. Smith's going to take off and pitch that's inside the throw. Gets into the outfield. It's a stolen base for Brooke Smith, her 27th of the season. As she nabs second base. Called strike, so the count 2 balls and a strike to Sammy Jimenez. But now a runner in scoring position. Tusculum looking to take its first lead of the day. The pitch home. Jimenez lines it to third. Bailey's right there, and she puts it away for the 3rd out. Tusculum gets a runner in scoring position, but Brooke Smith halted at second as we head to the home half of the first. No score here on the Eagles Sports Network.
This is Carson-Newman men's basketball alum Taylor Hawkins. I want to help your family secure its financial future. I'm with Modern Woodman Financial Planning, where we touch lives and secure futures. Let Modern Woodman protect your family's financial security through life insurance, retirement planning, and financial services. You can contact me, Taylor Hawkins, at cneagles.com/Modern Woodman. That's cneagles.com/Modern Woodman. Help secure your family's financial future through Modern Woodman Financial Planning.
The #1 source for Carson-Newman athletics gear, shop cneagles.com, where you can find gear from Adidas, Columbia, Nike, and Under Armour. Shirts, jerseys, sweatshirts, shorts, pants, hats, and scarves. ShopCNEagles.com is your source for everything CN. You can even show your school spirit on your smartphone or tablet. All of your game day essentials can be found in one place. ShopCNEagles.com.
Top of the Eagle order to face off against Nia Vogel here in the home half of the first, as the first pitch is a ball off the plate, and the count, ball and no strikes. Carson-Newman holds Tusculum scoreless despite the Pioneers getting a runner in scoring position. As no score heading into the bottom half of the first. Next pitch to Mari Robbins is downstairs, ball 2. Michael Graves going with a if it ain't broke, don't fix it mindset here in game 2 with the same starting lineup from game 1. Will be Robbins, Dye, and Bailey due up for Carson-Newman here in the home half of the first inning. Pretty similar lineup for Tusculum as well, as Robbins takes the 2-0 outside, ball 3. The only change for Tusculum is the pitcher in the circle and Nia Vogel, and the designated player is going to be Ella Mikechek, who will come up in the top of the second. The 3-0 to Robbins is inside, ball 4. A 4-pitch walk for Mari Robbins to start game 2 for the Carson-Newman offense. And Robbins gives the Eagles a leadoff base runner. Nia Vogel coming into this appearance, a 4-0 record and 36 2/3 innings of work. She's got a pretty good strikeout to walk ratio, 23 strikeouts to just 7 free passes. And a 2.86 ERA. Is the first pitch home to Hayden Dye, skied high in the sky and out of play. Dye's been on quite a tear through her last 3 games. Been on a tear overall here in the middle part of the season. Average is up to 482. She's 6 of her last 9 at the plate. Went 3 for 3 in game 1 against Anderson. 0 for 3 in game 2, but picked it up where she left off here against Tusculum. A 3 for 3 performance in game 1. As a 0-1 pitch misses, and the count is a ball and a strike. One ball and a strike to the senior out of Knoxville, Tennessee. As Vogel twirls and deals, Dye rockets it left center, and that ball is out of here. A 2-run home run for Hayden Dye, and Carson-Newman starts the scoring. It's 2-0. Another long ball for the Eagles, adding to that country-leading tally. And it's 2-0 Carson-Newman. 3 homers in game 1. McCauley, Bailey, Santana Anderson, and Kennedy Warder. Hayden Dye gets the first here in game 2. And the Eagles are on top. That continues to pile on to what has been the strength of the Eagles through the first 29 games and into their 30th. As McCauley Bailey stands in, first pitch home from Vogel is downstairs for ball 1. So the 4 home runs today, Carson-Newman up to 46 long balls on the season. That leads the country. As Bailey awaits the 1-0. She watches at the top of the zone for a called strike. And the count is 1-1. So 2-0 Carson-Newman. The Eagles on the board first for the second time today. Mentioned Carson-Newman has had a ton of success when being the first to score, as Bailey takes the 1-1 downstairs for ball 2. Carson-Newman, after scoring first in game 1 and the first inning, the Eagles 12-1 when scoring the first inning, and 11-1 when the Eagles score first. 2 balls and a strike to McCauley Bailey, who homered in game 1. As Vogel spins it home, Bailey behind it, a swing and miss for strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes to McCauley with the bases empty and nobody out here in Carson-Newman's half of the first inning. Another note, Carson-Newman, after that sweep over Lincoln Memorial and a win today, 3-0 against ranked teams, as Bailey swings and misses. Down on strikes for the first out. So Bailey down on strikes for the first out of the bottom of the first. As Santana Anderson stands in. She homered in game one. Takes a called strike on the inner half. And it's 0-1. There's been a couple no-doubters off the bat of the Eagles today, and one of them was Santana Anderson. You could tell as soon as it left the bat that ball was getting out of here. She cuts and misses at a 0-1 pitch downstairs. And the count is 0-2. So after the Eagles wrap up this doubleheader at home against Tusculum, the Eagles will head to Mars Hill over the weekend for hosting Limestone next week. It's 0-2 to Santana is high for ball one. A ball and 2 strikes. Nia Vogel up to 15 pitches through a third inning of work. And struck out 1. Bailey down on strikes for the first out of the inning. As a 1-2 home to Anderson. She watches it downstairs. Count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bases empty for Santana, the transfer out of Limestone. Mashed her 5th home run of the season in game 1. As Vogel leans, deals a 2-2. Anderson watches it on the inner black for a called strike 3. Back-to-back punch-outs for Nia Vogel. And there's 2 away for the Tusculum defense. So after the first 2 reach, Mari Robbins with the walk, Hayden Dye the 2-run home run. Vogel has set down the last 2. And now Brooklyn Lucero stands in with 2 away. First pitch home, Vogel to Lucero. She watches over the heart of the plate for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Vogel starting to settle in against this high-powered Carson-Newman offense. As she peeks at her wrist, rocks and fires the 0-1 pitch home to Brooklyn. It's outside. Ball 1, and the count evens at a ball and a strike. Beautiful day here in Jefferson City. Baseball underway against Tusculum. We'll keep an eye on the Eagles at the Silver Diamond Baseball Complex. As a 0-1 pitch, Vogel to Lucero downstairs, gets away from Jimenez, but nobody aboard to advance, and the count moves 2 balls and a strike. Carson-Newman men's and women's tennis also in action. The women made easy work of Purdue Northwest in a 4-0 sweep. And the men in action right now is a 2-1 home to Brooklyn Lucero. She pops it up to shallow center. Back on it is Nicholson, and she'll put it away. Alvarez makes the play. For out, number 3. But the Eagles get 2. Hayden Dye leaves the yard. A 2-run home run. And Carson-Newman leads 2-0 after 1 here on the Eagle Sports Network.
Tri-Light is proud to support Carson-Newman Athletics. We salute the student athletes who are working hard to make great things happen on the field, in the classroom, and in the world. It takes vision, commitment, and teamwork, qualities we share at Tri-Light. Our mission is to provide life-changing opportunities by building a world-class fiber broadband network. If you'd like to learn more, please visit trilight.net or call us at 833-847-0824.
We select our insurance companies the same way you do, very carefully. When you work with us, you can count on receiving fast, courteous, and professional service and quality protection through Auto Owners Insurance. For a no-problem approach for your life, home, car, and business insurance needs, ask us about the No Problem Company, Auto Owners Insurance. Call Bible Insurance Agency at 423-586-4320 or go by 1600 East Andrew Johnson Highway in Morristown, serving the Lakeway area's insurance needs since 1931.
Top of the second on the way. Carson-Newman leads number 17, Tusculum, here in game 2. 2-0 after 1 as Sierra Rogers back in the circle. Deals the first pitch to Gabby Nicholson low for ball 1. So the Eagles now 13-2 at home. Winners of 10 in a row at the Vic. To improve to 19-10, 6-3 in South Atlantic Conference play. As Rogers rocks, fires the 1-0. It's fouled back. And the count is 1-1. The only 2 losses here at home came early in the season against the Lee Flames here at the Vic. It's a day where Lee just had it all working to take down Carson-Newman. As a 1-1 home is dribbled left side and foul. The count, a ball and 2 strikes. 1 ball, 2 strikes, base is empty, nobody out for the Carson-Newman defense. Sierra Rogers, who improved to 9-3 with a solid effort in game 1, back out for game 2. The 1-2 is corkscrewed off the bat of Nicholson down the right side and foul. Carson-Newman has had success not only against ranked opponents, but in-state opponents here at home. Both Lincoln Memorial and Tusculum came to Jefferson City inside the NFCA top 25, and the Eagles have made easy work of both of them thus far, outscoring Lincoln Memorial as a called strike 3 from Rogers, and there's 1 down. She got Nicholson looking on a pitch that grazes the outside part of the plate, and there's 1 away. Here's Ella Mikecheck standing in for the first time today. As the bases remain empty with 1 down. Rogers looks home, leans, fires the first pitch to Mikecheck. It's a big swing and a miss for strike 1. Rogers looking for win number 10 in 2025. She's been excellent lately. 7-inning complete game against Anderson, delivered in game 1 to keep this Tusculum offense scoreless. As Rogers leans and fires home, it's dribbled left side and foul. First time Tusculum's been held scoreless all season. Game against Sierra Rogers, who shut down this Pioneer offense and has done a good job in doing so early here in game 2. As Rogers readies to fire the 0-2 home to Mikecheck. The 0-2 is high, and the count's a ball and 2 strikes. And the Eagles going with the same defensive alignment, same lineup here in game 2 with Lucero at first, Martin at second, Dye at short, Bailey at third. Warder behind the dish as Rogers deals a 1-2, runs inside and gets Mikecheck. And she's aboard on a hit by pitch. Second time today, the 2-strike count has gotten away. A pitch has gotten away from Rogers and plunked a Tusculum hitter, but nonetheless, only 1 aboard here with 1 down. Second Tusculum Pioneer to reach. The other was Danielle Jason, who worked the leadoff walk. Since then, Rogers set down the next 4. As it'll be Barbrick to stand in with 1 down. First pitch to her is skied high right side. Lucero and Martin give it a look, but it goes foul. So 0-1 the count as Rogers prepares to deal the 30th pitch here in game 2. First at bat here in game 2 for Barbrick. Conrad's on deck. Hunter in the hole. 7-8-9 for the Pioneers here in the second. The 0-1 help is high. Warder keeps it in front, and the count moves 1-1. 2 runs on 1 hit for Carson-Newman. It was the Hayden Dye 2-run home run that scored Mari Robbins, who reached on a leadoff walk. As the Eagles look to continue their offensive success here at home. The 1-1 is downstairs, ball 2, and the count 2 balls and a strike. Mikecheck aboard first after she was plunked by a pitch. As Barbrick awaits the 2-1 offering. Rogers rocks and deals the 2-1 home. Barbrick swings and misses. Strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here in Tusculum's half of the second inning. As Mikecheck stands aboard first. The 2-2 home from Rogers is high. Ball 3. Full count now to Alyssa Barbrick. As Rogers peeks at her wrist, ready to fire the payoff offering. The 3-2 home is a called strike 3. Barbrick's buckled at the knees, and it's Rogers' second strikeout. There's 2 down. What a big pitch from Sierra. Found the inside corner and sets down Barbrick for out number 2. First pitch home to Conrad is fouled back, and the count is 0-1. The best opportunity of the day for Tusculum in Game 1 came with the bases loaded. And 2 away for Kaylin Conrad, but she struck out straight to the bases loaded, and that's all the momentum Sierra Rogers needed to power Carson-Newman to a Game 1 run rule victory. She's up 0-1. Leeds fires the 0-1 home. It's popped foul in the count 0-2. Again, Tusculum's only loss coming into today was a slugfest of a loss to Southern Wesleyan, 11-10 against the Warriors. Carson-Newman also hosted Southern Wesleyan, had a similar result in the nightcap, an 18-17 win in extra innings over the Pioneers. As a 0-2, Rogers home to Conrad. She swings and misses. Strike 3. Back-to-back punch-outs for Sierra Rogers to end the top of the second. We head to the bottom half. Carson-Newman leads 2-0 right here on the Eagle Sports Network.
How do you know you're in a community, not just a town? Well, strangers smile as they walk by. They refill your coffee without you asking. And when you ask directions, people offer to walk you there. Communities give more. The way you know when you walk into First Bank that you are in a real community bank. Great products, direct access to your local bankers, and relationships that can last a lifetime. Don't just have an account. Have a community with First Bank. Member FDIC.
At InterDigital, we strive to be a leading provider of cutting-edge digital and marketing solutions. At InterDigital, we want to help our clients find success. Our team of technology gurus work together to ensure InterDigital continues to progress forward as technology advances. At InterDigital, we make technology work for you. Visit interdigital.com for IT support, web development, virtual tours, graphic design, internet marketing, mobile app, and film production services.
InterDigital, laser focused on your success.
Kennedy Warder sees the first 2 pitches low and then skies out on a hard hit line drive to left. And she is retired for the first out. 2-0 Carson-Newman as we enter the bottom half of the second here on the Eagle Sports Network. It's Sierra Rogers' turn for Carson-Newman. As she swings and misses. The count 0-1. Maya Vogel back out in the circle for Tusculum. She wheels and deals the next pitch. It's outside. And the count, a ball and a strike. 1-1 the count to Rogers. The base is empty. As the next pitch home is upstairs. Ball 2. 2 balls and a strike to Sierra Rogers. With the bases empty and 1 away after Warder skies out to left. Nia Vogel back in the circle for Tusculum, an inning and a third. 1 hit, 2 earned runs as Rogers watches the next pitch off the plate, ball 3. 3 balls and 1 strike. to Sierra Rogers. As Vogel rocks and fires a 3-1 home, Rogers skies it high to left. Going back is Jason, and it's off the roof of the clubhouse. A solo home run for Sierra Rogers, and it's 3-0 Carson-Newman. The ball continues to sail out of the Vic, and the Eagles add to the advantage. All 3 runs now have come off home runs for Carson-Newman, as we're going to see a pitching change. Nia Vogel will exit. New arms going to come in the contest for Tusculum. We'll talk about her on the other side right here on the Eagle Sports Network.
Don't know what to wear on game day? Head over to shopseeandeagles.com for all of your Carson-Newman athletics gear. You can find clothing from Adidas, Columbia, Nike, and Under Armour to cover you from head to toe. ShopSeeingEagles.com also has duffel bags, backpacks, jewelry, pet supplies, and gifts. Don't waste any more time. Prove you are the ultimate Carson-Newman fan with the official gear of the Eagles at ShopSeeingEagles.com. Visit today.
Dorm food got you down? Need a home-cooked meal? Then Lisa's Country Kitchen is for you. Lisa's Country Kitchen has been feeding Carson-Newman students for 15 years. Lisa's has a family-friendly atmosphere all day long, from the morning with her $2.99 breakfast specials to dinner with Lisa's fresh, never-frozen steaks. Carson-Newman students get a 10% discount with their student ID.
Lisa's Country Kitchen on Route 92 off Old Andrew Johnson Highway. The best food for the best prices.
Danny Beckham, the new arm for Tusculum, entering after Nia Vogel goes an inning and a third, and she exits after a solo home run for Sierra Rogers. She continues to do it all. First pitch to Addie Saunders is low and away for ball 1. And the count of ball and no strikes. 2 home runs for Carson-Newman, a 2-run home run from Hayden Dye, and a solo shot from Sierra Rogers. Makes it 3-0 Eagles as Rogers matches a career high in a season with her 6 home runs. Saunders gets a hold of one down the left field line. Jason gives chase, but it falls in foul ground. The count evens at a ball and a strike. So Rogers has really come on strong offensively in her 11th start in the Carson-Newman order. Launches her 6th home run, matches her career high from 2022. She hit 6 for the Eagles in her first season in Mossy Creek. Next pitch home to Saunders is low and away. And the count's 2 balls and a strike. Beckham entering this appearance 6-0, 30 1/3 innings of work. A 3 ERA on the dot for the righty. As she rocks and fires a 2-1 home to Saunders, a big cut and miss up high. And the count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2-2 the count here in Carson-Newman's half of the second. 2 in the first, now 1 here in the second inning for the Carson-Newman offense. As a 2-2 home, Saunders slaps it towards short. Scooped and through to first by Alvarez in time for the second out. Good play by Alvarez, charging in to take care of the speedy Addie Saunders, and there's 2 away for Abby Martin. Martin rounds out the first trip through the Eagle order. Only 2 hits on this first trip through, but they've been 2 big ones. Dye's 2-run home run and Rogers' solo shot. First pitch home, Beckham to Abby Martin's an off-speed pitch that clips the bottom of the zone for a called strike 1. And the count is 0-1. So Beckham coming in looking to keep this deficit right where it is at 3 and allow our offense to try and get back to work against Sierra Rogers. A 0-1 to Martin. She rips it to short. Alvarez, a snow cone grab for out number 3. 2 nice plays for Ellie Alvarez to end the frame, and we head to the third. Carson-Newman adds 1 on a Sierra Rogers solo home run. We head to the third inning. It's 3-0 Carson-Newman here on the Eagle Sports Network.
Sure, we've been around a while, 171 years to be exact. We know the power of a liberal arts-based Christian education and the tremendous potential of what can be found on this campus, within this community. We are adventurers, dreamers, believers. passionate and compassionate, curious and clever, driven by a common purpose towards a common goal.
I found my passion.
I found purpose.
We are Carson-Newman.
What will you find?
Domino's Pizza in Jefferson City and Morristown wants to help feed your business. When you're hungry at lunch, show your business card at Domino's in Jefferson City and Morristown when you make your purchase for pickup or delivery to get 25% off the entire order. That's 25% off your order at Domino's in Jeff City and Morristown when you show your business card. Call 865-471-6700 to get a pizza. Domino's, the official pizza of the Carson-Newman Eagles.
(9-1-2) due up for Tusculum. Looking for a surge offensively. Haven't had anything against Sierra Rogers today, who's back in the circle in the top of the third. 3-0 Carson-Newman. All 3 runs have come on a pair of home runs. Hayden Dye's 2-run shot in the first. Sierra Rogers exits a yard in the second. First pitch home to Hunter. She squares the bunt, pokes it foul. And the count is 0-1. Another good start for Carson-Newman here in Game 2. The Eagles have played really well here on their home field this season. 13-2, a 10-game winning streak at the Vic. And 3 wins over in-state ranked opponents. As Hunter dribbles the next pitch up the middle. Dye goes to a knee, fires to first in time for out number 1. What a play. Hayden Dye in the 6-hole. Goes down to a knee to snag it. Fires over first on the money to Brooklyn Lucero for the first out of the third. That brings in Danielle Jason, the speedster, who reached in her first time at the plate. She was out on batter or runner interference heading to second as she takes the first pitch downstairs for ball 1. Now 40 pitches on the dot for Rogers, 28 strikes in 2 1/3 innings of work, 3 strikeouts. She matched the season high with 8 punch-outs in Game 1. The 1-0 home to Jason is downstairs and outside, ball 2. So Jason in the box, Smith is on deck, Alvarez in the hole here with 1 out in the top of the third. Tusculum offense just looking for any sort of momentum, as the Pioneers have now been outscored 11-0 in between the 2 games. Carson-Newman has really had its way against the now number 17 ranked Pioneers. A 2-0 home, Rogers to Jason is a hair low. And the count is 3 balls and no strikes. Tusculum has success when it gets runners aboard, with Jason the leading base stealer in the South Atlantic Conference in a 3-0 count. She shows bunt, pulls back, takes all the way for a called strike, and the count is 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike, 1 down for the Carson-Newman defense. As Rogers rocks and fires home, it's outside, ball 4. Jason races to first. It's her second walk here in Game 2, and she's aboard for Smith. Jason on first, Smith in the box. She slaps a pitch down the left field line, but it's foul. The count is 0-1. So no balls and a strike. Rogers to Smith, with 1 down here in the top of the third. 0-1. It's bunted behind the plate. Warder gives chase, but it gets off the tip of her glove and falls harmlessly in foul ground. Count now 0-2 to Smith. She'll stand in again from the left side. Jason remains on first with one away. The 0-2 home from Rogers is slapped up the middle. Dye fields it on a line, throws back to first. Jason had no idea. Actually, it was slapped on the ground, so no line drive. It looked like, couldn't tell initially, but Smith slaps it back up the middle. Dye scoops and throws to first well in time for out number 2. Jason races to second. And now Ellie Alvarez with a runner in scoring position. Stands in from the left side. From the right side as Rogers wheels and deals. It's fouled back by Alvarez, and the count is 0-1. No balls and a strike. Sierra Rogers to Ellie Alvarez with 2 down and a runner on second. It's Rogers peeks at her wrist. Toes the slab, ready to deal the 0-1 pitch. She fires home. It's a called strike at the bottom of the zone. The count is 0-2. Rogers 1 strike away from dealing her 8th scoreless frame of the day. 5 scoreless innings in game 1. 2 so far here in game 2. The 0-2 home. Alvarez watches high and in. Ball 1. A ball and 2 strikes to Ellie Alvarez. With Danielle Jason standing on second. Carson-Newman leads 3-0, looking to keep Tusculum off the board. The 1-2 is high, gets away from Mortar, and allows Jason to race to third. Count evens at 2-2. Jason races to third on the pass ball. And now it's Deuces Wild on the scoreboard. A runner on third, 2 away. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs here in the top of the third. Rogers rocks, fires home the 2-2. Alvarez just gets a piece of it to stay alive. And the count remains 2-2. You think wild pitch? Okay, I'll change it. Count remains 2-2 to Alvarez. As Rogers rocks and fires the 2-2 home, Alvarez fouls it back to stay alive. Good fight from Ellie Alvarez to try and keep this inning alive for Tusculum, looking for its first run of production today. 8-0 in game 1. It's 3-0 here in game 2. As Rogers leans, fires a 2-2 home. Alvarez dribbles it left side. Did Bailey get a piece of it? They're going to say it's a foul ball. It was tight down the third base line. But it's foul to the left of the third base bag, and the count remains 2-2. Just inches off the first run of the day for number 17 Tusculum as Alvarez pokes it just foul. The next 2-2 from Rogers. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. 4th strikeout for Rogers, and it ends the top of the third. 3-0. Carson-Newman keeps its lead right where it is. We head to the home half of the third. The Eagles lead over in-state rival Tusculum right here on the Eagles Sports Network.
There's something about a small community that unites us, whether it's cheering on our favorite team or the way we come together in a crisis. Small communities are made up of people with big hearts. We're dedicated to hard work and innovation through sunny days and stormy nights. AEC is always here, powering the people and the places that make our community a spectacular place to call home. AEC, power what matters most.
Insurance, it's about people, not things. It's about security. It's about confidence. It's about relationships. It's about trust. It's about you. As a local independent agent, Bible Insurance Agency can design an insurance program that's just right for you and your family. Give the people you love safe, sound, secure protection from Auto Owners Insurance. Call Bible Insurance Agency 423-586-4320 or go by 1600 East Andrew Johnson Highway in Morristown.
Back for Carson-Newman's half of the third. It's back to the top of the order for the Eagles, leading 3-0. As the first pitch home, Beckham to Robbins is a called strike on the inner edge, and the count is 0-1. Sierra Rogers gets her fourth punch out of game 2 to end the frame in the top half of the third and retain Carson-Newman's 3-0 edge over its in-state rival, number 17, Tusculum. The 0-1 to Robbins. She squares the bump, puts one down. That dives right in front of the circle, and Robbins will reach first. The backspin on that ball screeched it to a halt as soon as it hit the turf, and Robbins is aboard with a bunt single. So Mari Robbins on first, Hayden Dye in the box, the same scenario when Dye went yard in the first inning, has come to play again here in inning number 3. Beckham leans, fires the first pitch to Dye. She watches it downstairs and outside for ball 1. Ball in, no strikes to Hayden, who sent her 6th home run out of the Vic in her last at-bat. Now with some speed on first, we'll see what Hayden Dye can do in the box in her second time at the plate. The 1-0 is low, ball 2. Hayden Dye has been scorching hot as of late. She's now hitting .488 in this 2025 season, the top average in the lineup today. In fact, the only Eagle hitting above .400 in the starting order. It's a 2-0 pitch home to Hayden Dye. She fouls it off, and the count's 2 balls and a strike. Eagles looking for run support to help out Sierra Rogers in the circle, who's been unconscious in the past couple starts. She's been phenomenal for Carson-Newman. In 7 innings against Anderson, 5 scoreless in game 1 here at the Vic. Next pitch home to Dye is outside. Now Robbins gets back to first as Jimenez checks down. And the count's 3 balls and a strike on Hayden Dye. Three balls and 1 strike to Hayden Dye with nobody out in Carson-Newman's half of the third. Beckham rocks and fires a 3-1 home. It's high. Robbins takes off. It's not going to matter as Dye will head to first on a walk. Looked like a good jump for Robbins there. Be interested to see what the play at second was going to look like, but it doesn't matter as Hayden Dye makes it first and second, and now a chat between Julie Hubner and her pitcher Danny Beckham, the third arm Tusculum's used today. It was Megan Ackerman for all of game 1. Nia Vogel got the start in game 2. She won an inning in the third and exited after Sierra Rogers left the yard for the 6th time this year. Now Beckham has taken over for the last 2/3. Vogel got the start, allowed 2 hits, 3 earned runs, a solo and a 2-run home run that ended Nia Vogel's day and gave way to Danny Beckham. First relief arm we've seen today for Tusculum as Hubner continues to chat with her right-handed pitcher. Again, Tusculum falls to 8-1. It opens the door for Wingate to take over that top spot in the South Atlantic Conference, especially if Carson-Newman can hold on here in game 2. On that note, we'll check in on the South Atlantic Conference as this visit concludes, and Macaulay Bailey stands in for the second time here in game 2. Beckham remains in the circle. She rocks and fires the first pitch home to Bailey, who crushes it to center, and it's gone. Second home run of the day from Macaulay Bailey, a 3-run shot, and it's 6-0 Carson-Newman. First pitch swinging from Macaulay Bailey, and the Eagles have their 3rd home run of the game to double up the lead. A rocket off the bat of Macaulay Bailey, who now puts Carson-Newman firmly in control of this contest. Santana Anderson stands in, bases empty, nobody out. As Beckham fires home, it's high, ball one. Eagles taking care of business here in this second game, now outscoring the Pioneers 14-0 through a game and some change on a rivalry Tuesday in Jefferson City. The 1-0 misses low, ball two. And the count, 2 balls and no strikes. Talking some of the South Atlantic Conference action today, Newberry takes care of Coker in 6 innings, 11-3. Limestone defeats Mars Hill 3-1. Lincoln Memorial over Anderson 2-1 in game 1. It's a 2-0 home to Santana Anderson. She fouls it off, and the count is 2-1. So now 7 home runs on the day for Carson-Newman. As Anderson awaits the next offering. Umpire may be going to retrieve some extra softballs, and he does. It's count 2-1 on Santana Anderson.
Go Eags.
With the bases empty and nobody out. 6 runs on 4 hits. All 6 Carson-Newman home runs have come off the home run. As Anderson chops the next pitch foul, and the count is 2-2. A dominant showing by Carson-Newman so far here today. As Carson-Newman hangs on to be back-to-back home doubleheader sweeps over ranked in-state rivals. Lincoln Memorial right before the road trip to Wingate and Anderson. A sweep here at the Vic, and now today taking care of business against Tusculum. The 2-2 is poked foul, and the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Right-handed Beckham peeks at her wrists. Rocks and fires home the 2-2 offering. It's well high and upstairs. Ball 3. So Macaulay Bailey becomes the new Carson-Newman leader this year in home runs with her 10th of the season. 2 today against Tusculum. As the next pitch home to Anderson is chopped foul behind the dish, and the count remains full at 3-2. Bailey also near the top of the country in home runs. Her and Maury Robbins were tied coming into, Macaulay was 17th with 8 home runs. She's since moved up a tightly packed list. She's tied for 5th in the country. As a payoff pitch to Santana Anderson is outside, ball 4. Another base runner with nobody out in the frame. Carson-Newman now has a run rule run at the plate. Can't end the game here, but you can put yourself in territory to do so if the defense gets 6 outs. Now a new arm's going to come in for Tusculum. Beckham will exit. And we'll have another change in the circle for the Pioneers. We'll talk about who it is on the other side. Carson-Newman adds to lead in the 3rd and looking for more damage on the scoreboard. We'll be right back here on the Eagles Sports Network.
When you're sick and tired of fast food and need a fresh home-cooked meal, turn to Lisa's Country Kitchen. Lisa's been cooking up her fresh, never-frozen food for the Lakeway area for more than 15 years. Lisa's cares about her customers. You may enter a stranger, but you'll leave a friend. From foot-long hot dogs to juicy steaks, Lisa's has the best food for the best prices.
Lisa's Country Kitchen on Route 92 off Old Andrew Johnson Highway. The best food for the best prices.
Serving East Tennessee for 40 years, Magaha Electric is the perfect choice for all your electrical projects. Magaha Electric specializes in commercial, retail, manufacturing, residential, and industrial contracting needs. Magaha Electric can provide superior service, technical know-how, and realistic budgeting for any size project in a timely, cost-effective manner. Visit MagahaElectric.com for all your electrical contracting needs. Magaha Electric, your East Tennessee electrical contracting source.
Natalie Spadis is the new arm for Tusculum. Taking over for Danny Beckham here in the bottom half of the 3rd. The 4th arm, Tusculum is sent out. here in this doubleheader, and Brooklyn Lucero at the plate with a runner on first and nobody out. First pitch to Lucero well inside for ball one. The count, a ball and no strikes. So if Carson-Newman can hang on, it'd obviously be the first team to sweep Tusculum this season in a doubleheader. Again, the lone loss Tusculum had coming into today was at the hands of Southern Wesley in the nightcap of that doubleheader. Lucero pops the next pitch up right side. Conrad giving chase and foul ground. And she can't get there. Count evens at a ball and a strike on Brooklyn. Anderson on first. Lucero in the box. Carson-Newman can get in run rule territory here in the third with a pair of runs. And still 3 outs to work with here in the bottom half of the third. The 1-1 home to Brooklyn Lucero is up and in. And the count's 2 balls and a strike. 6 runs on 4 hits for the Eagles. It's been the long ball that has helped Carson-Newman along in this contest. 3 home runs, 2-run shot by Hayden Tice. Lucero pops the next pitch foul, and the count is 2-2. Carson-Newman against Shorter tied the in-game or the single-game record for home runs in the contest with 5. The Eagles just 2 off of that tally here in Game 2 of the doubleheader against in-state rival Tusculum. It's a 2-2 home to Lucero. She rips it right side but foul. And the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 2-2 home to Brooklyn is outside. And the count moves full at 3-2. The payoff home to Brooklyn Lucero. She pops it up on the lip of the turf in the outfield grass, and it's Jimenez to make the play for out number 1. Anderson stays put at first. Now Kennedy Warder will stand in from the right side with 1 away. Warder walked it off and run rule fashion in Game 1 with a solo shot. As she awaits the first offering, it's high for ball 1. Beautiful day here at the Vic, and Carson-Newman has made sure its home crowd is enjoying itself on a day that Carson-Newman has outscored Tusculum 14-0 through the first 8 innings. As Warder fouls it off, and the count, ball and a strike. Three home runs for Carson-Newman in Game 1. 3 here in Game 2. Macaulay Bailey left the yard in Game 1, as did Santana Anderson and Kennedy Warder, as Warder watches the next pitch high for ball 2. Here in Game 2, it's been a similar story. 3 home runs already for the Eagles. We're not even through 3 full innings. As Kennedy awaits the 2-1 offering. Spadis twirls and fires. Warder rips it into left center. It's a base hit. Gets all the way to the wall as Anderson rounds second. She'll head for third. And Warder in with a 1-out stand-up double. Good piece of hitting from Warder. That brings Sierra Rogers to the plate. With 2 runners in scoring position, the Eagles can get into run rule territory here in the third. Rogers, who homered in her last at-bat, awaits the first pitch from Natalie Spadis. The offering home is a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Warder on second, Anderson on third with 1 down. 6 runs on 5 hits now for Carson-Newman. 3 of those 5 have been home runs. The 0-1 offering home is a called strike, and the count is 0-2. Warder's double is the only hit outside of Mari Robbins' bunt single that's been anything but the long ball here in this contest. Rogers 1 for 1 with that solo home run in the second. She awaits a 0-2 pitch that misses outside. And the count's a ball and 2 strikes. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 away for Rogers. The offering home is a called Strike 3. Rogers down on strikes. And there's 2 down for Addie Saunders. Still those 2 ducks on the pond for Saunders as she takes a called strike. And the count is 0-1. Check in on Carson-Newman baseball when we have a second. This Eagles also facing off with the Pioneers over at the Silver Diamond Baseball Complex. A 0-1 home from Spadis to Saunders. She slaps it foul. And the count is 0-2. Spadis looking to work out of it after giving up the stand-up double to Kennedy Warder. And get Tusculum back to the plate, down just 6. The 0-2 home to Addie Saunders is well outside in the opposite batter's box in the count. A ball and 2 strikes. And Carson-Newman will head back on the road this weekend to take on Mars Hill. After wrapping up this doubleheader with Tusculum, the 1-2 to Saunders. She slaps it to left, a base hit. Anderson scores, Warder rounds third, and she'll score as Saunders heads to second. A 2 RBI single for Addie Saunders, and the Eagles are back in run rule territory. It's 8-0. The freshman continues to impress as she stands on second with 2 down for Abby Martin. The Eagles back up to the original Game 1 tally at 8-0 here in the bottom of the third. First pitch home, Spadis to Martin. She watches it on the inner part of the plate for a called strike 1. Jimenez checks back on Saunders, who's back in time. The count is 0-1. 0-1 pitch home to Martin. She skies it foul to the left side. The count is 0-2. Carson-Newman, 8 runs now on 6 hits. Tusculum still hitless through 3 innings of offensive work. It's been all Carson-Newman today. Only 1 hit through 8 innings for Tusculum. The next pitch is up and in to Abby Martin. The count, ball and 2 strikes. Saunders stands on second. Abby Martin looking to give Carson-Newman just a little bit more padding here in the home half of the third. Already 5 runs in the frame as a 1-2 clips the inside corner. A called strike 3. Martin's down on strikes, but not before the Eagles get 5 more. It's 8-0 Eagles after 3 right here on the Eagles Sports Network.
Domino's Pizza in Jefferson City has deals for Carson-Newman students. Bring in your valid student ID when you order for pickup or delivery, and Domino's in Jefferson City will give you a steaming hot large 1-topping pizza for $4.99. That's a large 1-topping pizza for Carson-Newman students for $4.99 at Domino's in Jeff City. Call 865-471-6700 to order. That's 865-471-6700. Domino's, the official pizza of the Carson-Newman Eagles.
Okay, let's see. I'm ready to do this. Carson-Newman. It's been around since 1851. Lots of flexible online programs. Wow. World-class accredited academics. A faith and learning environment with professors who really care about me. A top 10 best value school. Carson-Newman gives $48 million a year in financial aid. This is the perfect place. I'm in.
Back here on the Eagles Sports Network, it's all Eagles after 3. 8-0 Carson-Newman as Sierra Rogers continues to hold this Tusculum offense at bay. What a job it's been from Sierra, allowing just 1 hit in 8 innings of work today against a team that came to the Vic winners of 16 straight. It was the second longest streak in the country. That has since been snapped. And Carson-Newman in the driver's seat looking for a doubleheader sweep over the Pioneers. Looks like the home plate umpire coming over to discuss a change maybe that Tusculum's making when it comes to the plate. We'll keep an eye on that, see if pinch hitter potentially comes to the plate here in Tusculum's half of the fourth. Does look like a single-digit number standing on deck for the Pioneers in Gabby Nicholson's spot. From the looks of it, it looks like Riley Hope, number 6, is on deck, but we'll wait for confirmation on that as Rogers readies to deal. To the leadoff hitting Sammy Jimenez here in the top of the fourth. Right-handed Rogers looks home, twirls and deals the first offering to Jimenez, who swings and misses down low, and the count is 0-1. Bases empty for Tusculum, nobody out. Here in the top of the fourth, Carson-Newman really padded its lead with 5 runs in the bottom of the third. Capped off by a 2-run single from Addie Saunders as Jimenez swings and misses at the next pitch, and it's 0-2. 58 pitches for Rogers through 3 innings of work. Looking for another strikeout to be her 5th of game 2 and her 13th of the day. The 0-2 home. Jimenez watches it upstairs and outside. Ball 1. Ball and 2 strikes now to the Tusculum catcher, Sammy Jimenez, as she'll walk out of the box and have a conversation down the first baseline with assistant coach Eric Krenz. As he gives her some guidance on where to look here in a 1-2 count. Ball and 2 strikes to Sammy Jimenez. As Rogers toes the slab, prepares to fire the next 1-2. It's chopped left side to third. Is it fair? Yes, it is. Jimenez racing to second. The throw in is offline, and Sammy Jimenez in at second with a leadoff double. Looked like it just snuck in fair ground as Jimenez is aboard with a double down the left field line. Just a second hit Rogers has allowed today. Again, not really hard contact. As Tusculum cracks the hit column here in the top of the fourth. That will bring in a pinch hitter here. It is Hope as she squares to bunt, pulls back, slaps the first pitch foul. And the count is 0-1. So a pinch hitter here for Tusculum. With a runner on second and nobody out. The 0-1 to Riley Hope is lined into center. Brooks giving chase, a little drop in the gap. Rounding third, heading home is Jimenez, and Hope is in with a pinch hit stand-up double. First run of the day for the Pioneers as Hope trades places with Jimenez, and Tusculum is on the board. 8-1 the score with Mike Check set to stand in with nobody out. Some momentum for Tusculum. It hasn't been able to seize it all day against Sierra Rogers in the first hit. I'd argue that was pretty well hit as Hope sends one in the left center gap. First pitch home to Mike Check is a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So Hope on second. She gets Tusculum on the board with an RBI double. Trade places with Sammy Jimenez. 2 doubles in the frame for Tusculum to lead off the top half of the fourth. So next pitch home to Mike Check, dribbled left side and foul. And the count is 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, nobody out for Ella Mike Check with a runner on second. Tusculum looking to slowly but surely creep back in this contest. A 0-2 misses downstairs. And the count's a ball and 2 strikes. First run that Sierra Rogers has given up today comes on back-to-back doubles. As Hope stands in scoring position. Next pitch home is low and inside. Ball 2. Count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. As Mike Check awaits the next offering. Rogers takes a long look to the Carson-Newman dugout. Toes the slab, rocks and fires a 2-2. Mike Check lines it towards second, gets off the leg of Abby Martin. Brooklyn Lucero is going to have to go and retrieve as Martin is down on the turf. A hard hit ball at the bat of Mike Check. A single to second base as Hope advances to third. And Alyssa Barbrick set to stand in. Martin a little shaken up. While we have a second, let's check in on Carson-Newman baseball squaring off with Tusculum over at the Silver Diamond Baseball Complex. Last I heard, it was 4-0 Eagles after one. It's now 8-3 Carson-Newman in the bottom of the third. Carson-Newman having a nice day for Tusculum. It was the Eagles that jumped out to a 4-0 lead. Tusculum cut it in half with 2 runs in the top of the second, 2 in the bottom half for the Eagles to get that lead back to 4. And the Eagles have extended the lead to 5 as Martin walking off. Ball that got her on the leg. She looks to be okay as athletic trainer Colby Reed comes out to check on the Eagles' everyday infielder, who's had a great year so far for Carson-Newman. She's been really solid defensively, and she's provided a pop at the plate. And she gives head coach Michael Graves a thumbs up, and she's back ready to go. It'll be runners on the corners for Tusculum. Nobody out. Really the first string of momentum we've seen for the Pioneers this afternoon. A pair of doubles and an infield single. Now we're going to see a pinch runner for Mike Check. Waiting to see the number here as Mike Check exits the base paths. Rogers preparing to deal to Barbrick with nobody out. It's number 23, Emma Golden, to come in and pinch run for Mike Check. As Barbrick awaits the first offering from the right side. First pitch home from Rogers is downstairs for ball 1. The count, a ball and no strikes. 8-1 Carson-Newman, but Tusculum has seized a little bit of momentum here in its half of the 4th inning. With Golden on first, Hope on third. She got the Pioneers on the board with an RBI double. The 1-0, low and in, ball 2. Actually, it's a pinch hitter here. It's Haley Nichols to come in and pinch hit for Barbrick. She works her way up in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. She checks swings on the next pitch, and she went around. The count is 2-1. Two balls and a strike to the pinch hitting Haley Nichols. With Golden on first, Hope on third. The 2-1 home from Rogers is downstairs, ball 3. 3 balls and a strike, with runners on the corners and nobody out. Rogers with still a solid outing so far here in game 2. 3 innings, 3 hits, the 1 earned run as she deals a 3-1 home. It's a called strike, and the count is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, no one out as Rogers readies to deal her 75th pitch here in the nightcap. Trying to break the seal in this inning and get the first out of the frame. As Rogers rocks and fires the payoff, it's dribbled over towards Martin. She'll flip to second for 1. No throw to first as a run will score. And Golden is out. Nichols reaches on a fielder's choice and scores 1. And there's 1 down. Hope comes in to score from third. There's 1 down for Kaylin Conrad. Productive pinch hitting appearance for Nichols. Gets just enough to poke it to second and make it 8-2. Now another pinch hitter for Tusculum. It's Kylie Darrow. Coming in pinch hit for Kaylin Conrad. First pitch to her is a swing and miss for strike one. So runner on first. Tusculum has its first 2 runs of the day off Sierra Rogers here in the top of the 4th. 8-2 your score as Rogers rocks and fires a 0-1. Darrow takes well upstairs. Good job by Warder to keep that one in front and hold Nichols at first. Ball and a strike the count. It's the pinch hitting Kylie Darrow. Rogers rocks, fires a 1-1. Downstairs, ball 2. Again, first time today that Tusculum has really had any success against Rogers. Just 1 hit in game 1. 3 here in game 2, all coming in the top of the 4th. It was a pair of doubles and an infield single to break through on the run column. Next pitch to Darrow. She pops it foul. And the count is 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes to the lefty Kylie Darrow. As Rogers re-engages with the slab. The 2-2 home to Darrow is dribbled back towards Abby Martin. She scoops, flips to second. It's in time, just barely to get Nichols. Tusculum unhappy about it, but it's the second consecutive fielder's choice to second that Abby Martin takes care of. And there's 2 down. A tight bang-bang play at the second base bag. But Martin gets it to die just in time for the second out. Now it seems we have another change for Tusculum. Looks like potentially another pinch hitter here with 2 outs in the frame. It will be Addison Hoffner to pinch hit for Abby Hunter. It's the 3rd consecutive pinch hitter for the Pioneers. We're going to change things up and try and create some impact on the scoreboard, and that certainly worked here in the 4th with 2 runs on 3 hits. The first pitch to Hoffner. She's behind it on a swing and miss, and the count is 0-1. So Darrow aboard first, reaching on the fielder's choice. A bang-bang play at second for the second out. As Rogers looks at the Eagle dugout, gets the call. Ready to fire the 0-1. Rocks and fires the 0-1 pitch home. It's just inside. The count evens out a ball and a strike. Rogers up to 84 pitches. Started for the second consecutive game, actually make it 3. She got a start at Anderson as the 1-1 home is lifted to right. Anderson gives chase, and she'll make the play down the right field line for the 3rd out. So Tusculum does get 2 to cut in the Carson-Newman lead a little bit, but it's 8-2 Carson-Newman after 3.5. We'll be right back with the bottom of the 4th here on the Eagle Sports Network.
This is Carson-Newman men's basketball alum Taylor Hawkins. I want to help your family secure its financial future. I'm with Modern Woodman Financial Planning, where we touch lives and secure futures. Let Modern Woodman protect your family's financial security through life insurance, retirement planning, and financial services. You can contact me, Taylor Hawkins, at cneagles.com/Modern Woodman. That's cneagles.com/Modern Woodman. Help secure your family's financial future through Modern Woodman Financial Planning.
The #1 source for Carson-Newman athletics gear is shopseeandeagles.com, where you can find gear from Adidas, Columbia, Nike, and Under Armour. Shirts, jerseys, sweatshirts, shorts, pants, hats, and scarves. Shopseeandeagles.com is your source for everything CN. You can even show your school spirit on your smartphone or tablet. All of your game day essentials can be found in one place. Shopseeandeagles.com.
Back here on the Eagle Sports Network, Carson-Newman leads 8-2 over in-state rival Tusculum. It's a first pitch home. Tamari Robbins is lifted foul. The count is 0-1. So the pinch hitters come in defensively, it seems, for the Tusculum Pioneers. Here in the bottom half of the fourth. Next pitch home to Robbins is high, and the count's ball and a strike.
Let's go. Come on, Maury. I'm not trying to do so. Let's go 2-0. Let's go 2-0.
The 1-1 home is inside. Tamari Robbins in the count. 2 balls and a strike.
Let's go, Maury.
2 balls, 1 strike. Tamari Robbins. Here in the home half of the fourth, as Spadis lifts and fires. Robbins pops it up down the left field line, giving chase is Jimenez, and she makes the play. Actually, Alvarez from her shortstop hole lays out to make the grab, and there's 1 down. Really nice play by Alvarez. Departs from her hole at shortstop and races all the way down the left field line for a ball that looked like it could be in no man's land. She makes the grab for the first out. First pitch home, Spadis to die. She fouls it off, and the count is 0-1. Hey, can I get confirmation that that is 9 in center field? Nine. Nothing in 1, the count to Hayden Dye. As Spadis lifts and fires a ball. And the count is 1-1. Next pitch is a ball. Counts 2 balls and a strike to Hayden. As the next offering home is fouled back, and the count is 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. 1 away with the bases empty for the Carson-Newman offense. Leading 8-2. It's a 2-2 home to die. It is outside, ball 3. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Good eye by Hayden Dye, a ball that was just off the plate. And the count moves full at 3-2. The payoff offering from Spadis. Dye check, swings up high. Did she go? There's no official check yet. She did not. And it's ball 4. Good job by Hayden Dye to just hold up enough and reach yet again. She's aboard with 1 down from Macaulay Bailey. As Bailey stands in from the right side. First pitch home, Spadis to Bailey is high, ball 1. Ball in, no strikes to Macaulay. 8-2 Carson-Newman here in the home half of the 4th inning. Spadis leans and fires. Bailey watches it upstairs. Ball 2. Carson-Newman can get back in run rule territory with Bailey and Dye coming in to score. Tusculum cut into the lead for the first time today with 2 runs in the top of the 4th. First 2 runs of production for Tusculum all day long, and it's been a credit to Sierra Rogers and the complimentary effort by the Eagle offense. As Alvarez has a quick chat with Spadis in the circle. Bailey stands back in, awaiting the 2-ball and no strike offering from Natalie Spadis. Righty dips, fires. Bailey pops it up, shallow center. Is it going to drop? Yes, it will. It drops right in front of Hunter in center. And it's first and second for Carson-Newman. Had just enough muster on it to fall in no man's land. And now Santana Anderson back to the dish with runners on first and second and one down. Again, an opportunity for Carson-Newman to get back in run rule territory. In that case, the Eagles would need 3 outs to close it out. First pitch home to Santana is a swing and miss on the heater by Spadis, and the count is 0-1. No balls in the strike to Carson-Newman slugging Santana Anderson in at .330 this season. And a home run in game 1. It's 0-1 pitch. Anderson washes it upstairs, and the count is a ball and a strike. Bailey on first after the 1-out single. Dye on second with 1 away. Spadis rocks and fires at 1-1. Anderson dribbles it out towards short, gets by the diving glove of Alvarez. Dye's going to round third and head home. The throw is on line, and Dye runs over Jimenez for out number 2. Now Bailey heading for third. She's tagged out. An unconventional double play that ends the Eagles' half of the fourth. We head to the fifth, 8-2 Carson-Newman. And what a jolt of momentum for the Tusculum defense. We'll be right back here on the Eagle Sports Network.
Tri-Light is proud to support Carson-Newman Athletics. We salute the student athletes who are working hard to make great things happen on the field, in the classroom, and in the world. It takes vision, commitment, and teamwork, qualities we share at Tri-Light. Our mission is to provide life-changing opportunities by building a world-class fiber broadband network. If you'd like to learn more, please visit trilight.net or call us at 833-847-0824.
We select our insurance companies the same way you do, very carefully. When you work with us, you can count on receiving fast, courteous, and professional service and quality protection through Auto Owners Insurance. For a no-problem approach for your life, home, car, and business insurance needs, ask us about the No Problem Company, Auto Owners Insurance. Call Bible Insurance Agency at 423-586-4320 or go by 1600 East Andrew Johnson Highway in Morristown, serving the Lakeway area's insurance needs since 1931.
Back here at the Vic for the top of inning number 5. What a wacky sequence it was to end the frame in the bottom of the fourth. Santana Anderson singled to left. Hayden Dye was trying to go second to home. She's thrown out a great throw by the left fielder Danielle Jason to cut down Dye at the plate. Then Bailey was trying to go second to third. She was thrown out. Jimenez to third base to get McCauley. And it was a wacky way to end the fourth inning. Tusculum comes back to the plate. Pioneers have scored the last 2 runs in this contest and obviously have a little bit of momentum following that stellar defensive play. Jimenez actually got run over at the plate. She was able to get to her feet and realized that Bailey was going second to third and make the play. It was a really nice effort from Jimenez as Jason will lead off this half of the inning for the Pioneers. It's the first pitch home. Jason bunts it down the third base line. Bailey scoops her throw to first and not in time. And Danielle Jason is aboard with a bunt single. Tusculum trying to get some speed aboard. Talking to head coach Michael Grace, he really believed the key to success today was keeping Tusculum's speed off the base pass. For the most part, Carson-Newman's done a great job of doing that. But Jason able to work herself aboard with a bunt single to start the top of the fifth. As the first pitch home to Smith, she bunts it down to third. Bailey scoops the throw to first, gets off the glove of Lucero, and Jason heads to third. Throwing error, fielding error there. So Smith aboard on a error by Carson-Newman. Jason races to third. As the first pitch home to Alvarez is a called strike. As now the next pitch to Alvarez, she squares him up, pulls back in time, and the count is a ball and a strike. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Ellie Alvarez. With runners on the corners and nobody out. Next pitch home. Alvarez lifts it to left center. Going back. This ball is gone. A 3-run home run for Ellie Alvarez, and Tusculum is within 3. It's 8-5. Both those runs are earned for now, right? The two are unearned? Okay. So Smith and Jason come in to score, and it's 8-5. Sierra Rogers is going to exit, but she'll stay in the field of play. She's going to head to center field. We'll see Lorelei Spradlin. We'll talk about her on the other side right here on the Eagles Sports Network.
How do you know you're in a community, not just a town? Well, strangers smile as they walk by. They refill your coffee without you asking. And when you ask directions, people offer to walk you there. Communities give more. The way you know when you walk into First Bank that you are in a real community bank. Great products, direct access to your local bankers, and relationships that can last a lifetime. Don't just have an account. Have a community with First Bank. Member FDIC.
At InterDigital, we strive to be a leading provider of cutting-edge digital and marketing solutions. At InterDigital, we want to help our clients find success. Our team of technology gurus work together to ensure InterDigital continues to progress forward as technology advances. At InterDigital, we make technology work for you. Visit interdigital.com for IT support, web development, virtual tours, graphic design, internet marketing, mobile app, and film production services.
InterDigital, laser focused on your success.
Back here on the Eagles Sports Network, Lorelei Spradlin takes over in the circle for Carson-Newman. Tusculum has all the momentum right now as the first pitch is downstairs to Jimenez for ball 1. And the count is a ball and no strikes. So Sierra Rogers exits, but stays in the field of play. She's in center. Trinity Brooks is off as the next pitch from Spradlin is high for ball 2. The freshman out of Blacksburg, Virginia, enters for Carson-Newman. First pitcher we've seen today for the Eagles that has not been Sierra Rogers. As the next pitch home is fouled off, and the count is 2-1. 15th appearance for the freshman out of Blacksburg, Virginia, 5-4 record, 5.88 ERA for Lorelei. She looks to come in and stabilize Carson-Newman. The 2-1 is a called strike, and it's 2-2. Bases empty, nobody out. Tusculum is within 3. Pioneers have scored all 5, 2 in the 4th, 3 in the 5th. To keep this game alive, it looks like Carson-Newman was on its way to another run rule victory, but the Pioneers have had what it's needed here in the last couple innings. As count is 2-2, a little bit of a stoppage here. Looks like Michael Graves is upset about something. Looked like Jimenez thought that she was out. She was walking back towards the Tusculum dugout. Might have been a signal by the home plate umpire that confused Michael Graves. The count we have is 2-2. As the umpire heads back behind the dish, count remains 2-2. After the slight confusion. 2 balls and 2 strikes, Spradlin to Jimenez. As a right-handed Spradlin peeks at her wrist, fires home the 2-2. It's high. Ball 3. Full count to Sammy Jimenez. He's looking to help Tusculum retain this momentum. The payoff pitch home from Spradlin. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Huge punch out for Lorelei Spradlin in her first batter she's faced today, and there's 1 down. Riley Hope back up to the plate. She pinch hit in the last inning. Now she's back in the box. She doubled to get the scoring started for Tusculum. First pitch home to Hope is well high for ball 1. And the count of ball and no strikes. 1 down for the Carson-Newman defense. With a 3-run lead. Tusculum has significantly cut into the deficit. 1-0 pitch is a called strike on the inner black, and the count is a ball and a strike. Carson-Newman jumped out to an 8-run lead after 3. It was a 5-run third that put Carson-Newman ahead 8-0, but 2 in the 4th, 3 in the 5th for Tusculum has brought this game closer. The next pitch home is swung on a miss, strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 away, base is empty for Hope. Spradlin gets the call from the Carson-Newman dugout. Rocks and fires a 1-2. Hope dribbles it towards Abby Martin. The backhand throw to first is not in time as Hope reaches on an infield single. Good play on the backhand by Abby Martin. She got it to first. Lucero picked it out of the turf, but not in time to get Riley Hope. Now she's aboard first for Ella Mikechek. The home plate umpire discussing potentially another change for Tusculum here in the 5th. Actually, it just looks like the re-entering of Mikechek. That was a conversation. First pitch home to Mikechek is skied high left side. And it'll be Addie Saunders who can't make the play, but it trickles to second, and Abby Martin tags the bag. What a wacky sequence right there as Mikechek reaches. But Hope is out at second. So it's the second out of the inning. As Riley Hope is out at second. Really fortunate bounce for Carson-Newman there. Right off the glove of Saunders as it's a swing and a miss by Nichols. And the count evens the ball and a strike. The 1-1 is a cut and a miss. And the count is 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Mikechek aboard first with 2 away. As Spradlin looks for a clean relief outing to keep Carson-Newman ahead by 3. The next pitch misses just inside. And the count is 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes with 2 away. A runner still on first for Tusculum. It's a 2-2 spun home. It's just low, ball 3. Nichols trying to reach to bring the tying run to the dish. With Kylie Darrow standing on deck. The payoff pitch home, high ball 4. Nichols walks, Mikechek heads to second, and Darrow now the tying run at the dish for Tusculum. So it's Nichols on first, Mike Check on second with 2 away. First pitch home, Spradlin to Darrow is a called strike on the outer edge, and the count is 0-1. Nothing in one pitch home to Darrow. She lines it back up the middle. Dye scoops her throw to first in time for out number 3. A softly hit ball at the bat of Darrow finds the glove of Dye, and the velocity of the throw gets Darrow in time for the 3rd out. Tusculum does get 3, but Carson-Newman still ahead 8-5. We'll head to the bottom half of the 5th right here on the Eagle Sports Network.
Don't know what to wear on game day? Head over to shopseeandeagles.com for all of your Carson-Newman athletics gear. You can find clothing from Adidas, Columbia, Nike, and Under Armour to cover you from head to toe. ShopSeeAndEagles.com also has duffel bags, backpacks, jewelry, pet supplies, and gifts. Don't waste any more time. Prove you are the ultimate Carson-Newman fan with the official gear of the Eagles at ShopSeeAndEagles.com. Visit today.
Dorm food got you down? Need a home-cooked meal? Then Lisa's Country Kitchen is for you. Lisa's Country Kitchen has been feeding Carson-Newman students for 15 years. Lisa's has a family-friendly atmosphere all day long. From the morning with her $2.99 breakfast specials to dinner with Lisa's fresh, never-frozen steaks. Carson-Newman students get a 10% discount with their student ID.
Lisa's Country Kitchen on Route 92 off Old Andrew Johnson Highway. The best food for the best prices.
Brooklyn Lucero fouls off the first 2 pitches of the frame, and the count 0-2 to her against Natalie Spadis. Carson-Newman looking for a little bit of insurance here in the home half of the 5th, leading Tusculum 8-5, but the Pioneers have scored the last 5. Eagles jumped out to an 8-0 lead. Since then, Tusculum has battled back. As the next pitch home, Lucero skies it foul, and the count remains 0-2. Lucero in the box, Kennedy Waters on deck, Sierra Rogers in the hole for the Eagle offense. The next pitch home, Lucero skies it high, right side. Nichols gives chase and foul ground, but it goes over the fence down the right field line. The count remains 0-2. Spadis up to 44 pitches in relief. She's dealt 27 of which for strikes. Tusculum 5 runs on 6 hits. All 6 hits came in the 4th and the 5th. Rogers was cruising. Tusculum created a little bit of momentum and has chipped away at the deficit, and now sits at 3. Lucero 0 for 2 here in game number 2. She awaits a 0-2 pitch. It's up and in, ball 1. Spadis has come in and done her job in keeping Carson-Newman pretty much off the board. Only 1 run off the relief arm, Spadis. She rocks and fires a 1-2 to Brooklyn. It's outside, and the count is 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes. Base is empty, nobody out for the Eagle offense. Spadis deals a 2-2. Lucero rips it into center. Going back is Hunter. She leaps, and she made the grab. Abby Hunter robs Brooklyn Lucero for the first out. All you can do is tip your cap to Abby Hunter in center field. She plucked it over top of the wall. Could see that one on the Sports Center Top 10 later this evening, as Lucero is out for a loud out number 1. First pitch to Kennedy Warder, grounded right side to second. Throw to first is in time for out number 2. Smith with a nice play on the backhand. And quickly, there's 2 away. Seems like everything is going right for Tusculum right now. Score the last 5, you get a show-stopping grab from Abby Hunter in center. Good defense by Smith right there to make the play for the second out. Sierra Rogers stands in. First pitch to her is a swing and a miss. For strike 1, the count is 0-1. Although Tusculum has a momentum, again, Carson-Newman's jump to an 8-0 lead has helped the Eagles maintain this lead, but Tusculum is creeping back in the contest. As time is called by Jimenez, she'll chat with Spadis with the bases empty and 2 down. Quick conversation between Jimenez and the relief arm, Natalie Spadis, who's done a nice job. Obviously gotten some help from her defense with that unbelievable grab in center field by Abby Hunter. As Jimenez heads back behind the dish. Count, no balls, and a strike on Sierra Rogers, who's now in center field defensively. The 0-1 home. She watches it across the heart of the plate for a called strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes. Spadis looking for a scoreless bottom of the 5th despite 2 hard hit balls by Carson-Newman. Be back-to-back scoreless frames for Natalie Spadis. As she leans, fires the 0-2. It's high. And the count is a ball and 2 strikes. Addie Saunders awaits on deck. Abby Martin in the hole for Carson-Newman, looking to seize some of the momentum back in this contest and stave off the Pioneers. And 1-2 is a swing and a miss. Strike 3. Sierra Rogers down on strikes, and that ends the 5th. We head to the top of the 6th. It's 8-5 Carson-Newman, but Tusculum has some real momentum. We'll be right back here on the Eagle Sports Network.
When you're sick and tired of fast food and need a fresh home-cooked meal, turn to Lisa's Country Kitchen. Lisa's been cooking up her fresh, never-frozen food for the Lakeway area for more than 15 years. Lisa's cares about her customers. You may enter a stranger, but you'll leave a friend. From foot-long hot dogs to juicy steaks, Lisa's has the best food for the best prices.
Lisa's Country Kitchen on Route 92 off Old Andrew Johnson Highway. The best food for the best prices.
Serving East Tennessee for 40 years, Magaha Electric is the perfect choice for all your electrical projects. Magaha Electric specializes in commercial, retail, manufacturing, residential, and industrial contracting needs. Magaha Electric can provide superior service, technical know-how, and realistic budgeting for any size project in a timely, cost-effective manner. Visit MagahaElectric.com for all your electrical contracting needs. Magaha Electric, your East Tennessee electrical contracting source.
Back for the top of the 6th inning. Carson-Newman leads Tusculum 8-5, but the Pioneers, with some help from their defense in the bottom of the 5th, keep the deficit right where it is. It's Abby Hunter to lead things off for Tusculum after making a wonderful grab in center field, robbing Brooklyn Lucero of a home run. She takes the first pitch on the inner half for a called strike. Ryan Wilkes with you here on the Eagle Sports Network. Thanks for spending some of your day here with me as Carson-Newman looks for another sweep over a ranked in-state rival. 8-0 5-inning win in game 1 as Hunter pops the next pitch foul behind the dish, and the count is 0-2. Here in game 2, it seemed like it was going towards a similar tally, but Tusculum has had the answers here through the 4th and the 5th. Now looking for a productive 6, a 0-2 home. Dribbled back towards short. Dye scoops. Her throw to first is just in time to get the speedy Hunter for the first out. Another nice play from Hayden Dye at short. Momentum carried her towards the second base bag. She makes an off-balance throw to first. And that's the first out of the 6th. Back to the top for Danielle Jason, who has, after not reaching in the first game, reached all 3 times here in game number 2. The first pitch home is downstairs for ball 1. She walked twice. She singled to third. She's back in for fourth time from the left side. The 1-0 home from Spradlin is slapped towards third. Bailey scoops her throw to first. This time is true as Lucero stretches for the second out. It's a tough play when you know you got one of the faster players in the Southland Conference racing down the first baseline. That time the throw was a little bit offline, but Lucero does her job at first, keeps the foot on the bag, and that's out number 2. It'd be a big 1-2-3 inning for Spradlin and the Carson-Newman defense if it can get it. As Smith slaps the first pitch left side and foul, and the count is 0-1. The Eagles haven't had a scoreless frame since the third, defensively at least. Also haven't scored since the third, so the script has flipped here in this contest. But again, Carson-Newman's ability to get runs early in the ball game have kept the Eagles out in front. So left-handed Smith awaits a 0-1. The pitch home. She bunts it back towards the circle. Spradlin scoops her throw to first. Smith slides in, but she's out just barely at first. A 1-2-3 inning for Lorelei Spradlin, and we head to the bottom half of the sixth. Carson-Newman retains its 8-5 lead over number 17 Tusculum here on the Eagle Sports Network.
Domino's Pizza in Jefferson City has deals for Carson-Newman students. Bring in your valid student ID when you order for pickup or delivery, and Domino's in Jefferson City will give you a steaming hot large one-topping pizza for $4.99. That's a large one-topping pizza for Carson-Newman students for $4.99 at Domino's in Jeff City. Call 865-471-6700 to order. That's 865-471-6700. Domino's, the official pizza of the Carson-Newman Eagles.
Okay, let's see. I'm ready to do this. Carson-Newman. It's been around since 1851. Lots of flexible online programs. Wow. World-class accredited academics. A faith and learning environment with professors who really care about me. A top 10 best value school. Carson-Newman gives $48 million a year in financial aid. This is the perfect place. I'm in.
Back for the bottom of the sixth, Carson-Newman looks for some run support before it needs 3 outs defensively to close out a doubleheader sweep. Addie Saunders in the box. She takes the first pitch low and outside for ball 1. The count, a ball and no strikes. 3 up, 3 down for Lorelei Spradlin, the Carson-Newman defense. In the top half of the sixth, this next pitch home to Saunders. Is low and outside, ball 2. As much as the momentum has been with Tusculum through the middle innings, Carson-Newman has done enough to keep the lead, and a 3-run lead at that. Still going to be a significant amount needed for Tusculum in the top of the 7th. As a 2-0 home to Saunders is popped foul to the left side. Hope gives it a look, but it goes out of play. Addie Saunders here in game 2 is 1 for 2 with a 2 RBI single. She's the last run-scoring hit for Carson-Newman. It capped off a 5-run third, and it's a big couple runs. It'll be a 1-run game without Saunders' 2 RBI knock, as the next pitch is low and outside, and the count is 3 balls and a strike. Three balls and 1 strike to Saunders. The pitch home is popped foul to the left side, and the count moves 3 balls and 2 strikes. 3-2 the count with the bases empty. Nobody out for the Carson-Newman offense in the bottom of the 6th inning. As the left-handed Saunders stands back in. Righty Spadis takes a look at her wrist. Ready to fire the payoff pitch to Saunders. The 3-2 home from Spadis is lifted to left, but it's foul. And the count remains full at 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out for Addie Saunders. Help get Carson-Newman a little bit of momentum here in the home half of the 6th before Tusculum's last chance in the top of the 7th. The payoff pitch home to Saunders. She rips it to third off the glove of Hope in fair ground, and Saunders will reach with her second hit of the day. It was almost a really nice play by Riley Hope at third, but it gets off her glove, and Saunders reaches with an infield single. Patty Saunders continues to make more of a case to be an everyday starter for this Carson-Newman team, especially in the absence of Sienna Cameron. As Abby Martin stands in from the right side. First pitch home from Spadis to Martin is a called strike. Saunders caught off the base, heads back to first. The throw gets away from Nichols, but a good break for Tusculum as it gets a piece of the field umpire. As the count 0-1 on Abby Martin. Looked like if it got by, it would have allowed Saunders to move into scoring position. Good to see. Field umpire's all right. As a 0-1 pitch home to Martin. She lifts it into center. Going back is Jason. She'll take a couple steps in and make the play for out number 1. Looked like Martin got a hold of that one as Hunter comes over to make the play for out number 2. It might have died a little bit on its way to center field. Saunders stays put. Now it's back to the top for Maury Robbins. Runner on first, one away for the Carson-Newman offense, who's been held scoreless since the 3rd. As Spadis rocks and fires the first pitch to Robbins. It's downstairs for ball 1. And the count of ball and no strikes. Again, the way this game was trending, looked like Carson-Newman was going to get the 6 outs it needed and get out of the ballpark early. But Tusculum has changed things in the middle innings as Robbins corkscrews the next pitch. Left side and found the count of ball and a strike. Check in on Carson-Newman baseball, taking on the Pioneers over at the Silver Diamond Baseball Complex. The Eagles have gotten out to a really nice start in South Atlantic Conference play, coming off a sweep at Limestone. It's a 1-1 to Robbins as a called strike on the inner half, and the count is 1-2. 12-5, Carson-Newman over Tusculum in the top of the 6th. Although it is a South Atlantic Conference matchup, it will not count towards the conference standing, just counted as a non-conference game between the two, but nonetheless good for the Eagles to get a midweek win as a 1-2 to Robbins is off the plate, ball 2, and the count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Saunders on first after the leadoff single. Robbins awaits a 2-2 offer. Spadis fires at home. Robbins ahead of the pitch, fouls it off, and the count remains 2-2. Mari Robbins now second on the team in home runs. Macaulay Bailey surpassed her today. 2 home runs between the 2 games for Macaulay to give her 10 on the season. Robbins has been stuck at 9 for a little while. As she awaits the next pitch, it skips in. Jimenez catches Saunders off the bag, but she gets back in time. Good block by Jimenez behind the dish to keep that ball in front as the count moves full on Mari Robbins. Robbins' last home run came against Southern Wesleyan. It's her 9th of the year. She was top in the country for a while. As a payoff pitch home, Spadis to Robbins is downstairs, ball 4. Good at bat for Mari Robbins. She takes her base and moves Saunders to second. And it's first and second for the Eagles with 1 away. A visit in the circle with the Tusculum defense to chat with Natalie Spadis with 1 down. 8-5 Eagles. Carson-Newman 8 runs on 9 hits. Check in on Carson-Newman baseball. Eagles again leading Tusculum. Carson-Newman looking for a clean sweep over the Pioneers this afternoon. And so far, so good. Carson-Newman will need 3 outs here at the Vic. Looking to make the job a little easier. Potentially a couple runs here in the bottom half of the 6th. Spadis will face off with Hayden Dye with 1 away as a check swing foul ball off her bat. Goes out of play in the count, 0-1. Dye 1 for 1. She had that 2-run home run to start the scoring for the Eagles in the 1st. Since then, she's walked twice. She's coming to score twice. And another nice day for the senior out of Knoxville. There's a 0-1 to Hayden Dye, downstairs and inside. Count evens at a ball and a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Robbins on first, Saunders on second for the Eagles. Spadis rocks and fires a 1-1. Dye takes upstairs, ball 2. Macaulay Bailey is on deck. Santana Anderson in the hole. This 1 through 4 in this game has been very successful. Anderson 1 for 2, Bailey 2 for 3, and Dye 1 for 1 as the next pitch home is lifted high in the sky to right. Charging in as the right fielder. She'll make the play. Saunders is going to head to third as she tags. Now they're going to check back at second. Looked like Saunders left in time. As Dye is out for out number 2. But she does move Saunders to second. Now a check back to the second base bag, and to no avail for Tusculum. Maybe because of the delay that Saunders had in leaving that second base bag. Tusculum maybe thought she never got there. But the appeal is unsuccessful. Still 2 away. Runners on the corners for Macaulay Bailey. Opportunity to make the job a little bit easier for likely Lorelei Spradlin in the top of the 7th. First pitch home, Spadis to Macaulay Bailey. Is a swing and a miss. Bailey well behind that pitch, and the count is 0-1. Umpires today have done a nice job. Bobby Troutman behind the plate. Bob Lance at first. Bobby Gosnell, the third base umpire. That's a 0-1 pitch to Bailey. He's well outside. Ball 1. It's been a wacky game for this crew to officiate. There's been a lot of weird scenarios here. For the later parts of this ball game, the crew's done a great job this afternoon. As Spadis steals a 1-1 home to Macaulay. She rips it through the left side. A base hit. Addie Saunders comes in to score, and Carson-Newman's on the board for the first time since the 3rd. It's 9-5. Big piece of hitting from Bailey. Again, anything makes the job a little bit easier when the Eagles come out defensively in the 7th. Looks like we're going to have a pinch runner for Macaulay here. She's been wearing that knee brace the past couple games as she will exit in favor of Taylor Erb, who comes in to pinch run for Macaulay. Taylor Erb, the freshman out of Waxhaw, North Carolina. Stands on first with Mari Robbins on second. Santana Anderson stands in. With 2 away, the first pitch to her is a called strike on the outer black. The count is 0-1. 9-5 Eagles. Carson-Newman will need 3 outs defensively, regardless of what happens the rest of this 6th inning, unless Carson-Newman's able to put up 4 more runs with 2 outs. As the next pitch misses outside to Santana for ball 1. Talk about that like it's a crazy idea. Carson-Newman has been able to score in bunches this season, so we'll see. Carson-Newman's able to get 4 more. The Eagles will win before 7 innings in both games. As Spadis steals a 1-1 home, it's a called strike, and the count is 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Erb on first. Robbins on second. Carson-Newman with 1 here in the home half of the 6th. Spadis rocks, fires a 1-2 home. Anderson swings and misses. Strike 3. So Carson-Newman gets 1, but Natalie Spadis gets Anderson on strikes, and it sends us to the top of the 7th. Carson-Newman looks to close things out and secure its 2nd consecutive doubleheader sweep of our ranked in-state rival. We'll be right back with the top of the 7th here on the Eagle Sports Network.
This is Carson-Newman men's basketball alum Taylor Hawkins. I want to help your family secure its financial future. I'm with Modern Woodman Financial Planning, where we touch lives and secure futures. Let Modern Woodman protect your family's financial security through life insurance, retirement planning, and financial services. You can contact me, Taylor Hawkins, at cneagles.com/Modern Woodman. That's cneagles.com/Modern Woodman. Help secure your family's financial future through Modern Woodman Financial Planning.
The #1 source for Carson-Newman athletics gear is shopseeandeagles.com, where you can find gear from Adidas, Columbia, Nike, and Under Armour. Shirts, jerseys, sweatshirts, shorts, pants, hats, and scarves. Shopseeandeagles.com is your source for everything CN. You can even show your school spirit on your smartphone or tablet. All of your game day essentials can be found in one place. Shop SeeingEagles.com.
The 3, 4, 5 hitters due up for the Pioneers here in the top half of the 7th. Carson-Newman leads 9-5, looking for a doubleheader sweep over number 17 Tusculum to beat Carson-Newman's second consecutive home series win, or home doubleheader sweep, against a ranked in-state rival. Lincoln Memorial now out of the poll, but at the time, LMU was number 23. And today, Tusculum, right before the game, the Pioneers moved up to 17th. As Tusculum was 29-1 coming into this doubleheader. Now 29-2. Its first conference loss to Carson-Newman. Fell to 8-1, and the Eagles looking to send Tusculum back to Greenville with 2 losses. Spradlin in the circle. Will deal to Alvarez. It's a first pitch strike to Ellie Alvarez, and the count is 0-1. Carson-Newman got 1 run in the bottom of the 6th to try and make things a little easier on the freshman Lorelei Spradlin. There's a 0-1 pitch home, an off-speed pitch that misses high and away. And the count evens the ball and a strike. It's Alvarez, Jimenez, and Hope. 3, 4, 5 hitters for the Pioneers here in the top of the 7th inning. The 1-1 home from Spradlin. Right across the heart of the plate for a call. It's strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, bases empty, nobody out for the Carson-Newman defense. Spradlin peeks at her wrist. Rocks and fires a 1-2. It's just inside, and the count moves 2-2. Didn't miss by much, but Alvarez stays alive in the count with a pitch just a hair off the plate inside. The 2-2 home from Lorelei. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Spradlin retires Alvarez, and there's 1 down. Here's Sammy Jimenez with the bases empty and 1 away. Spradlin looking to make this a swept-free top of the 7th and help Carson-Newman improve to 7-3 in South Atlantic Conference play. The first pitch home, Jimenez rips it to short, but Dye is there with the snow cone grab. Hayden Dye snagged it off her shoelaces, went to a knee, and there's 2 down. Now the discussion's being had that maybe that ball hit the ground. Looked from here, and the Dye kept it off the turf. But Jimenez is standing on first like she'll be ruled safe, but the call stands. As it sits right now, discussion still being had, and the ruling is confirmed. Jimenez retired, and there's 2 away for Tusculum's last hope, Riley Hope. Conversation is still being had. Head coach Julie Hubner not happy about that call, but again from here it looked like Dye kept it off the turf. And the call remains 2 down. Carson-Newman needs 1 out to secure a doubleheader sweep over number 17 Tusculum. First pitch home from Spradlin to Hope is a called strike, and the count is 0-1. No balls and a strike. Spradlin to Hope. Bases empty, 2 away. Carson-Newman leads Tusculum 9-5. Right-handed Spradlin gets the call behind the dish. Now time's called by Kennedy Warder. Maybe getting a little confirmation on the signal from the Carson-Newman dugout. Spradlin toes the slab, gets the call. And readies to fire the 0-1 pitch. Righty rocks, fires the 0-1. Hope swings and misses. Strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bases empty as Spradlin looks to slam the door on Tusculum. Spradlin twirls the ball in her right hand. Rocks fires a 0-2. It's poked towards first. Lucero makes the grab, and that's the game. Carson-Newman staves off Tusculum. In game number 2, looked like all Eagles in the early going. Tusculum made a surge, but the Eagles hold on. 9-5 final here in game 2. The Eagles sweep the number 17 team in the country in 2 games here at the Vic. Eagles improved to 7-3 in South Atlantic Conference play. Hand Tusculum just its second and third losses of the season. And the Eagles improve to 20-10. Talk to you soon. Eagles head on the road this weekend before a home doubleheader against Limestone next week. I'll talk to you then. Ryan Wilkes signing off right here on the Eagles Sports Network.